Hello everyone, this is Patrick Schmidt from Wyoming-football.com, and today we're looking at Class 1A 6-man. We'll give you a preview of the 2019 season and take you to the stadiums across the state along the way. We'll start at the home of the defending champs, Farson, and you'll have to trust me that there's a field there now. The Pronghorns lost 6 seniors from last year's championship team, first in school history, but they returned enough contributors to stay competitive. Next, we'll head to Burlington, last year's runners-up. Huskies were a 4 seed last year in the playoffs, but still reached Laramie, and they returned Jerome Davidson, who was an All-Stater last year. From here, we'll head to Ten Sleep and the biggest 6-man mystery of 2019. The Pioneers didn't field a team last year due to lack of players, but they're scheduled to be back this year with a new coach. Now we'll jump to Matitsi, which also has a new coach this year in Zeb Hagan. He was the Longhorns' defensive coordinator last year, so don't expect too many big changes for one of 6-man's most consistent teams. Now down to Basin, where Riverside preps for its last year of 6-man. The Rebels didn't graduate any seniors and had just one junior last year, so they're building for the future, and they're looking pretty strong. Let's jump now to St. Stephen's, where the Eagles have high hopes after a 1-6 finish a year ago. They get back several key players and will be joined by Caden Dower from Western Heritage Lutheran, who was already the 2-time 1A champ in the 100-meter dash. Staying in Fremont County, we head over to DuBois. The Rams were 0-8 last year and had just 7 players on the roster. However, all those players are back. Now we head over to the field of a team expected to do big things this fall, Snake River. The Rattlers will have 7 or 8 seniors this year and will have one of 6-man's deepest teams. Watch out for Snake River. As we move from the West Conference to the East Conference, let's make a quick stop by Encampment. The Tigers will have a football team for the first time since 1990 this fall, but they will be playing a JV schedule. Staying in the Platte Valley, let's go to Saratoga. The Panthers played a patchwork 6-man schedule last year, and this year will play a full East Conference schedule. However, they'll be ineligible for the playoffs this year and will likely move to 9-man next year. Now to Hanna and a team that a lot of people are high on this year, the HEM Miners. With a dynamic senior class led by brothers Connor and Shane McGraw, the Miners are eager to improve on last year's playoff finish, which ended in the first round after an undefeated regular season. Off to Lingle, where the Doggers return 5 starters on both offense and defense. Look for an improved group here as the team is much deeper and more competitive than last year's 2-5 team. Just up the road is Guernsey. The Vikings return 3 all-conference players and should be improved defensively. They were 4-5 last season, but finished last in 6-man in yards allowed per game. Let's make the leap to Hewlett, where the Red Devils return 5 offensive and 4 defensive starters from a team that made the playoffs for the first time last year in 3 years. With a big group of seniors, Hewlett could be even better this year. Now we go to NSI Academy in Sheridan. The Wolves have a new coach in Chad Lobdell, and as always, NSI is rebuilding. The Wolves only have 1 player returning from last year's team, but that's typical for the Wolves. As we move down the Bighorns, we hit KC, which also has a new coach this year, Dave Largent. He takes over a team that not too long ago won 3 consecutive state titles, but didn't make it out of the first round of the playoffs last year. Our 6-man tour ends in Midwest, which will also have a new coach this year. The Oilers went 1-6 last year and lost some key contributors, so Midwest role this year might be spoiler. And that's a look at Class 1A 6-man for 2019 here in Wyoming. For more, visit Wyoming-football.com and follow us all year long on Twitter, Facebook, and the website.